To better understand the conflict between Israel and Palestine, we must first understand the geographical history of the area. This area in yellow, before World War I, was directly under control of Ottoman Empire. The land which would become Israel was for centuries part of the Turkish-ruled Ottoman Empire. After World War I and the collapse of the empire, territory known as Palestine, the portion of which west of the River Jordan was also known as the Land of Israel by Jews, was marked out and assigned to Britain to administer by the victorious Allied powers, soon after endorsed by the League of Nations. The terms of the mandate entrusted Britain with establishing in Palestine a national home for the Jewish people, so long as doing so did not prejudice the civil and religious rights of non-Jewish communities there, i.e. the Arabs or Muslims. The rise of Palestinian Arab nationalism, coupled with the rapid growth of Palestine's smaller Jewish population, especially after the advent of Nazism in the 1930s, saw an escalation in Arab-Jewish violence in Palestine. Britain handed the problem to the United Nations, which in 1947 proposed partitioning Palestine into two states, one Jewish, one Arab, with the Jerusalem-Bethlehem area to become an international city. The plan was accepted by Palestine's Jewish leadership but rejected by Arab leaders. The Jewish leadership in Palestine declared the establishment of the State of Israel on May 14, 1948, the moment the British mandate terminated, though without announcing its borders. The following day Israel was invaded by 5 Arab armies, marking the start of Israel's War of Independence. The fighting ended in 1949 with a series of ceasefires, producing armistice lines along Israel's frontiers with neighboring states, and creating the boundaries of what became known as the Gaza Strip, occupied by Egypt, and East Jerusalem and the West Bank, occupied by Jordan. The surrounding Arab states refused to recognize Israel, meaning its borders remained unset. The biggest change to Israel's frontiers came in 1967, when the conflict known as the Six-Day War left Israel in occupation of the Sinai Peninsula, the Gaza Strip, the West Bank, East Jerusalem and most of the Syrian Golan Heights, effectively tripling the size of territory under Israel's control. Israel effectively annexed East Jerusalem, claiming the whole of the city as its capital and the Golan Heights. These moves were not recognized by the international community until the U.S. changed its official position on the matter under the Trump administration, becoming the first major power to do so. Overwhelmingly, international opinion continues to consider East Jerusalem and the Golan Heights as occupied territory. In 1994, Jordan became the second Arab state to recognize Israel, formalizing its long border with the Jewish state in the process. While there has not yet been a peace treaty between Israel and Lebanon, the two countries' 1949 armistice line serves as Israel's de facto northern border, while Israel's border with Syria remains unsettled. Similarly, Israel has had a de facto border with Gaza since it pulled its troops and settlers out in 2005, but Gaza and the West Bank are considered a single occupied entity by the UN, and the official borders have not yet been determined. The final status and contours of the West Bank, Gaza and East Jerusalem are meant to be decided in negotiations between Israel and the Palestinians living there under Israeli occupation, but decades of on-off talks have so far proved fruitless.